right, this is going to be for our new chapter 11. This is going to be 11-1. Okay, and with 11-1, we are focusing on line plots and stem and leaf plots. So the first thing we're going to look at are line plots, graphs. So we're going to take some information that we have, we're going to chart it. What graphs do is help take your data and organize it so you can see the patterns faster. Sometimes when we look at a lot of numbers, it's hard to determine what we have more of or what we have less of or where our range is. Teachers do this all the time with test scores. We take all of our test scores, we put it together in a big chart, and that way we can see how much of the class got A's and how much of the class got a B and so on. And it's a quick way to glance at information quickly, and you're not sitting there the whole time analyzing each number individually. So we're going to take a chart, okay, and this is actually coming right off your notes. So just so if you want to look back at the note PowerPoint, you can look at that. All right, so I'm going to have some numbers here. Now I'm not going to do all the numbers that are in the notes, just some of them, okay? But you get the same kind of idea. So they give us this chart, and of course mine's not drawn perfectly, but close enough. And they give us very random numbers. Okay, there's no pattern to these numbers. They're very random, and I'm just kind of filling in boxes with this data. Some of them you'll see repeat, some of them don't. All right. Okay, now step 1 is to find the smallest or the least number. So we're going to put our least over here. And then our second part is to find the greatest number. So what is our least or smallest number? Of all these numbers, the answer would be 1. What is our greatest or our highest number here? It would be 11. Okay, now the next thing we do is we need to make a number line that goes 1 to 11. No point making a number line that goes to 20 when 20 isn't even a value up here. Okay, so I'm going to take my line here and I mark 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to give myself an X for every number that shows up on my graph up here. Okay, so how many ones do I have? I have, let me switch out colors here. I have a 1 here and a 1 here, so that gives me 2 X's. All right, do I have any 2s? Nope, so I skipped that one. Do I have any 3s? No, I skipped that one. Don't have any 3s. Okay, do I have a 4? I have 1 4. And it helps to make a graph like this, copy it out of the book in circles, so that way you don't forget a number, okay, or draw a line or something. 5s. I have 1, 2, 3 5s. Okay, so let's give ourselves 3 5s. Sorry, that's not perfectly lined up there. All right, 6s. I have 1 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. All right, 8s. No 8s. 9. I have a 9 here. Get 1. 10s. 1, 2 10s, so 2 X's. And 11s. All right, last 2. And that's it. So really quickly, you can see what you have the most of. You can tell real quickly what you don't have at all. But real fast, all right, my graph kind of goes a little bit like, woo, it's all over the place. I have some that are exactly the same. Okay. I have two that have 3, so I would say these are my highest marks. All right. And that's kind of how you look at information and data. Now, of course, if we had a situation that these numbers applied to, then we would know what 5 and 7 are representing. But right now, they're just representing numbers that were on a chart. Okay? Let's try a stem and leaf plot. Now, again, this is how you do all line plots. Line plots like this. All right? You just take the data, you give it an X for every value. All right? So let's try one where you have a stem and leaf. All right, it's hard to write on this thing sometimes. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to take information or digits of each number in a data set to group the individual numbers. Each leaf of the plot represents on the right-hand digit in the data value. And each stem represents left-hand digits. Okay? So, for instance, if you had the number 27, okay, what this means is the leaf is the 7. L's are always on the left side, or the right side, excuse me. So, your stem is always on the left side. Sorry, I got that all confused on myself there. I was looking at something else. Okay, so it's always stem and leaf plot. Just always remember stem and leaf. So, you would take the number 2, being all your 20 numbers, all your numbers that start with a 2, go here, and then you just write whatever you have on this side. So, what does that look like? Well, let me try an example with you. Okay, let's group some data. So if I gave you these numbers, and these are coming right off the PowerPoint again, you'll notice they are in random order. These are not put in any order for any reason. They are just given as data. And again, this is oftentimes things that teachers do to look at how test scores are going in the class and homework and classwork grades, or we use this to compare, from one period to the next, things like that. All right, let me add in 2 more digits here, 12 and a 17. All right, squeeze those guys in there. Okay, the data shows the number of years, let's say, coached by the top 15 coaches in the all-time NFL coaching victories. Make a stem and leaf plot of the data, then find the number of coaches who coached fewer than 25 years. So step 1 is to look at the numbers you have available here. You're going to order the data from least to greatest. Since the values range from 12 to 40, use the 10 digits for the stems and the 1s for the leaves. Okay, so what that means is we're going to put this in order from least to greatest, or whichever you like to do. Okay, sometimes that helps us to cross them off as we go. I'm not going to rewrite this whole line, but I would recommend putting in order from least to greatest. But let me go ahead and get started here on my chart. So we have our stems on this side, and then our leaves on this side. Okay? Now I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have any